at the Oosterhout Free Library, we just got in a recently published book that's one of the funniest chapter books I've ever read. I think you'll like Strangeville School is Totally Normal. It is published by Random House, written by Darcy Miller, and illustrated by Brett Hellquist. I'm Miss Melissa with First Page Fridays, and I'm going to read you a little more than the first page. Harvey Hill just wants other kids to think he's normal. So he's happy to start fresh as the newest kid at Strangeville Middle School. And he's settling in for the morning announcements. Good morning, Strangeville School. This is Vice Principal Capozzi, filling in for Principal Gupta, who you'll be happy to hear is recovering nicely from her unfortunate piranha incident yesterday. I've been assured by Janitor Gary that all carnivorous fish have now been removed from the first floor drinking fountains. So if you happen to see Janitor Gary today, make sure to give him a big Strangeville thank you. In related news, Nurse Porter informs me that we are temporarily out of Band-Aids. In the event of a paper cut, Nurse Porter recommends having known better than to handle paper in the first place, and honestly, you probably deserved it. Well said, Nurse Porter. Strangeville is lucky to have you. Moving right along to the lunch menu, it looks as though today's choices will include steamed Maine lobster on watercress, unseasoned lukewarm gruel, and oh, a special new menu item. Chef Louis is describing it as complete and total darkness, but in meatloaf form. Sounds delicious, Chef Louis. On a more serious note, I'd like to remind all students to try to avoid angering the third floor supply closet today. In fact, why not avoid the third floor altogether? I know I will. And finally, I'd like to welcome new student Harvey Hill to Strangeville School this morning. Harvey hails from back east and will be joining Mr. Sandringham's 5th grade classroom. I'm told he has brownish hair, average elbows, and definitely a nose of some sort. So if you see anyone matching that description today, wish them hello. This is Vice Principal Capozzi signing off. Have a fantastic day, Strangeville School, but not too fantastic. You know the supply closet doesn't like that. In Mr. Sandringham's 5th grade homeroom, 22 sets of eyes turned in Harvey Hill's direction. Well, 23 sets of eyes, if you count the classroom lizard, Mr. Pickles. Harvey, who had not yet noticed Mr. Pickles and was therefore unaware of the lizard's existence, did not. It was fine. Mr. Pickles was used to being overlooked. One day, the lizard often thought, he would have his revenge. Mr. Pickles had plans. Oh yes, Mr. Pickles had big plans, terrifying plans, plans that would make you shoot up in bed in the middle of the night sweating from head to toe if you knew them. Plans so dastardly evil, so incomprehensibly fiendish, that to even understand the smallest part of them would make your teeth chatter and your bones rattle, and your very soul quiver in its boots. But anyway, enough about Mr. Pickles. Let's get back to Harvey. Would you like to come up and introduce yourself, Harvey? Mr. Sandringham asked. He squinted thoughtfully at the new student's elbows. It was difficult to see from the front of the classroom, but they appeared to be average. Then again, elbows were a tricky thing. Mr. Sandringham had been fooled by elbows before. Okay, Harvey said, a touch of reluctance in his voice. Strangeville may have been his 4th new school in as many years, but introducing himself in front of the class never got any easier. He pushed himself out of his chair and made his way to the front of the room, feeling the weight of 22 pairs of eyes following each step. 23, counting Mr. Pickles, of course. So, hi, Harvey said, giving an uncertain wave. Harvey was tall for his age, with wavy brown hair, 37 freckles, and a mysterious secret. My name's Harvey Hill, which I guess you already knew. He swallowed nervously, tugging at the bottom of his shirt. My family just moved here from Boston, and I like video games and taking pictures, and so yeah, I guess that's it, he finished hopefully. Wonderful, Mr. Sandringham said, beaming in approval. I know we're all hoping Strangeville will finally be a fit for you, Harvey. How are you liking it so far? Harvey shifted from one foot to another. It seems good. I liked the morning announcements. They were funny. Mr. Sandringham's forehead wrinkled in confusion. Funny? Yeah, said Harvey. You know, all that stuff about the piranhas and the lunch menu and the supply closet, Harvey asked. At my other schools, they never joked around about the morning announcements. Mr. Sandringham's face paled. The classroom grew still. Even Mr. Pickles looked alarmed. I assure you, said Mr. Sandringham, nervously twisting his necktie, there's nothing funny about the supply